Hello. I want to talk about the questions that we focus on when we're thinking about getting a dog or a second dog and a new addition to our home and our family. The sort of questions that we focus on aren't the important ones. We usually focus on what sort of dog breed you like, what sort of coat colour is more favourable, what type of coat is more favourable from your point of view. Even what a dog looks like with respect to their facial features or what sort of status they might have with respect to the popularity in a particular community. And these sorts of questions and these sorts of things don't really have any helpful outcome to helping your dog live in harmony with you in a way that's beneficial for both you and your dog. So what sort of questions should we be focusing on? Well, the first thing is, what is our lifestyle like? If we're out for 15, 16 hours of the day, then getting a dog is not the best choice for you and your situation. Dogs are very social creatures. They prefer to be with humans. They've been bred and genetically manipulated to want to be with us. So it's very unfair for you to expect a dog to sit at home for hours and hours on end without any human contact or any investment in that social way that dogs very much depend on throughout their whole life stages. Another thing to focus on is how old you are, how mobile you are. If you're retired, you're in your 70s, it might not be such a good idea to think about getting a small breed terrier type puppy that's going to be very active and go through their teething stage and then go through their adolescent phase. Maybe you might be better off actually considering adopting an older dog that might be between 6 to 9 years of age. There's a very real chance that our dogs may outlive us depending on how old we are as well. So it's really important that we take that into consideration. Now, considering a dog's personality is very difficult because we won't know that dog's personality until that dog is actually transitioned into our home, and that can take days, weeks or months. What if the personality of the dog is an introvert? They're a quiet dog, they're a gentle dog, they actually aren't very comfortable in very noisy, busy surroundings. So you often don't realise this until your dog is actually transitioning or trying to make the transition into your home. And when humans have expectations about how a dog actually should fit into their home and their lifestyle, without even considering these very important questions, this is where things can turn out to, for the dog, considerably to be a very unfortunate circumstance, because we can then have a disconnection between that human and their dog because they're expecting the dog to be one thing that's fulfilling their checklist, if you like. But dogs are living, breathing, sentient animals that feel emotional and physical pain, and they also have very complex social needs as well, just like humans do. And they also need things every single day that afford them the opportunities to express the behaviours that they need to do, the ones that they prefer to do, and also the physical activities that they enjoy to do. So on the surface, when we think about the things we ask ourselves, or we think that getting a dog is very easy, but it's not. We shouldn't pore over it and make it even more difficult than it is, but we should actually stop and take some real time to reflect on whether we as humans are in a position and are willing to provide a dog with what they need as a species every single day. And that doesn't just take them through their puppy stage or their adolescent phase, it takes them through all of their life stages. And when we consider that a dog has a lifespan of around about 10 to 15 years, we should be looking at things from the perspective of being committed. The perspective we should take is one of understanding that there are going to be different phases in our dog's life that will require different responses and different ways of managing proactively on our part. When we focus on the questions that truly make us reflect on whether we are able to provide another living species with what they require mentally and physically on a daily basis for such a long period of time, not just through their puppy stage, but also through their adolescent phase and their adult phase, into their senior and their geriatric phase. When we think about the deeper questions with respect to what that species needs physically and mentally every day, as opposed to what they look like or what their coat colour might look like, or the fact that they've got beautiful ears or lovely floppy ears or a beautiful coat, or they don't shed, by understanding what questions we're asking ourselves, we're then going to pave the way for less dogs being abandoned or surrendered to shelters across the world, because we will have deeply reflected not on the dog's ability to fulfil our requirements, but on our ability to meet the needs, the physical and mental needs of another living species every single day.